Gotta be good. It better be freaking amazing. No points for crappiness.
Okay, so 1872, 1873-ish in Quebec City. Um, and uh, Agnes has been invited to the Chateau du Mort, aptly named, by a friendly kindred that she met unexpectedly while feeding. Not a Nosferatu, much to her surprise. Everyone, all the other kindred in the city that Agnes has met have been Nosferatu. It's not a very colonized area by the Camarilla and others. Um, and yeah, you've been have an open invitation to this chateau. This is before Tomlin and Lilia were created. Um, was it before? We don't know when. Oh, wait, no, we do. 1870 is when Broman and Agnes started trying to embrace people and lost Camille, who Roman tried to embrace. So 2 or 3 years ago. And that's where we are. So, how does Agnes decide to take up this invitation that she has from a totally unknown kindred?
Um, well, he just said to just go visit him there, right? It was
Yeah.
kind of pretty vague.
Yeah. He's just like, this is where I'm staying. I love having company.
Yeah. So, um, yeah, she would have kind of talked to Roman about it, kind of feeled it out to see if it was a, bad idea or not to to go, especially because it was one of her first interactions with, you know, somebody from another clan. Um, and then when she decided to go, um, I think she probably would watch the area a bit because she can't just go into a place. So she'd be unseen and kind of watch because she's also a bit nervous.
You watch this, it's kind of an older section of the town, a lot of very lovely buildings, hotels, apartments. Um, from watching, you can kind of get the gist after a while that this is like a residential building. Whether or not he's there alone, you don't know, but it looks like it's not like a hotel or something like that. It's very like a place someone would rent to stay in. Probably throughout the night, at least in the beginning of the night, you see um, someone leave the apartment. Attractive young man, kind of looking around and a little bit disheveled and leaving the chateau. Not much other activity happening. And it's a quiet area. It's nighttime, so there's not, people are kind of getting ready to go to sleep.
Hmm.
And it's dark. There's like not a lot of street light in this area.
And like how big is the building?
medium.
Okay.
There's clearly a front door. It's like on a street of like buildings that are relatively close together. And there's like a singular front door.
Okay.
And it has like a sign with the name over it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess at some point, if somebody goes in, Agnes will kind of just slip in as well, or if it's just dark enough that she could go in and not be seen.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
dark enough that no one's really going to be able to see her.
Okay. So yeah, I guess she'll go inside to take a look.
You go inside, opening the nice painted door, and letting it close behind you. And it is a very plush, like very nice carpets and beautiful chandeliers, a nice sitting room off the front. You can see a fireplace going and see a little kind of balcony, like porch thing. And you can see a figure standing on the porch looking out over kind of the next street over.
Does it look like
It looks like the vampire that you met before.
So I will go quietly over there.
You're visible though? Or are you
I'll go I'll do unseen passage so I could walk over there.
Okay. You're invisible.
This is a public space, right?
You don't know.
Okay, yeah. So I would do it.
Oh man, what would he do? You use unseen passage and he can't like see or hear you coming. He's like standing on the balcony, holding a crystal glass, just looking out on the city.
I think I observe him for a bit.
He's very still, but doesn't look like he's having a bad time. Just kind of looking and reflecting, every now and then taking a drink from the glass, which has some sort of red liquid in it. It might be blood, it might be wine.
I think like the longer she stands there, the more she's like, wait, should I have just like knocked?
I think after a while, he's like looking out on the city, but does kind of like turn and lean on the balcony and look at the house and just kind of appear to be very lost in thought. When eventually he does turn to the spot where you're at, and say, "I really hope you're my friend from the other nights."
Yeah.
As you speak, your unseen passage drops. I'm so glad you came.
Sorry, I thank you for inviting me.
Of course. Did you bring any of your friends with you? He like looks around at the empty space in the room.
No. Just me.
Wonderful. Just the two of us. Can I get you something to drink?
Sure.
Do you drink wine?
No.
Okay,
No.
something else
Never
then?
mind. Nothing. I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Yes,
I have plenty of the other stuff.
it's okay. Thank you.
All right, all right. You must tell me if you want something, okay?
Okay.
He walks into the big living room and kind of collapses down on the couch in front of the fire and points towards like a love seat in another chair. Please sit.
She watches and kind of like lingers a bit, and then once he prompts her to come in more, she does. She'll come in and she'll sit down, um, kind of stiffly, like hands clasped in her lap, um, and sits. Her face seems kind of relaxed, but her body language is just uncertain.
Agnes, please tell me about yourself. How did you come to Quebec?
Um, well, my husband and I, we came over here not too terribly long ago.
It's cold out now.
We sailed over here from England, actually, from France originally.
And your husband, is he also kindred?
Yeah.
That's lovely. Do you mind if I ask if he is also Nosferatu?
He is. What brings you here?
Boredom, mostly. And looking for some place to exist without supervision for a while. Are you familiar with the Camarilla?
I know of. Like, right, she kind
Yeah.
of has basic knowledge.
Mm-hmm. It is a drag, to put it lightly, and I just need a little break.
That's understandable. I've not heard good things, so
Yes,
not
it's
surprised.
a necessity sometimes, but bureaucracy is never fun, and I wanted somewhere where people spoke French.
Well,
It seemed
are
like
you
the
liking
place.
it?
I think so. It is very beautiful. There's not a lot of competition for hunting, with the exception of you. Do you like it
Well,
here?
I do. Have not been many other places, I suppose, but those places I've been, it's nice.
What places have you been? You don't have to tell me. Just curious.
Well, mostly I've just been on the outskirts of places.
And what about when you were alive?
I lived in France, mostly.
And did you like it?
I did.
That's good. Can I ask when you lived there? Perhaps we ran into each other.
It was a very long time ago.
Agnes, we are both perceive time a little bit differently than humans now. I mean, I know I should never ask a lady her name, her age, but You don't have to tell me. I'm sorry if I'm prying.
No, it's fine. I'm just not used to it, I guess.
Not used to people asking you questions.
Yes. I was born in 1481.
I think perhaps we did not overlap.
I thought so.
Well, that is very impressive.
Well, thank you.
How are you finding this century? I'm sure there's a big change for you.
It is a very big change stepping into this age. It's well, I think it's a very different experience looking at it or adjusting to it from the outskirts. It's hmm.
That is very insightful. I will admit I haven't spent a lot of time with Nosferatu. I suppose I don't have a lot of context for your experience.
I think she kind of she gets a little reflective, um, kind of in her head a bit because um as she was answering, she was kind of thinking of because from her perspective, it was like 1501 and then now.
Yeah.
So it was as she was answering it, it was kind of like, okay, my experience is probably a lot different than somebody that actually lived through all of it. And then she's like, that's because she was human and living in the day and age and then
Yeah.
came to look at the world that she knew totally different from the outskirts and learned a different world. So it was a very unique shift,
Mm-hmm.
and she kind of gets reflective of that, um, without like meaning to, because ideally she wouldn't get
Yeah.
lost in thought with a stranger, but
I think she's able to get lost because he doesn't prompt another question and kind of notices Agnes thinking about something and like losing herself in it and like lets time pass for a long period of time until she like comes out of that. I want so badly to ask you what you're thinking.
I'm thinking it's every I think I just recognized how unique everyone's individual experiences. When you when you asked me that question, I think we both approached it differently because of our own experiences. And when do you mind if I share I a bit of my experience?
I want nothing more than that.
When I died, well, one, I don't know if you know, but the Nosferatu embraces particularly painful. Um, it's an awful thing, really. And shortly after mine, or really, I don't know how long it was, I lost a lot of concept of time. I entered a torpor, and when I woke up, a lot of time had passed. So much time that I don't know. It's thinking about the differences. I didn't watch them happen. I just woke up and had to adjust, but also learn a new life. So I guess I feel a bit disconnected from the changes throughout, with Kine. Because I don't know, I don't feel as involved anymore.
Do you want to be involved?
I would like to be. I I try to be as much as I can be, but it's a bit difficult.
I'm sure. Thank you for sharing that with me.
Guess I felt like I needed to say it, so thank you for letting me.
I will always be a listening ear for you.
I appreciate that.
Tell me, Agnes, how is the Nosferatu marriage?
What do you mean?
Is it complicated? Is it easy? Were you married in life? Can I ask you that? I feel like it's a different comparison when you only have a kindred lover.
I was married in life. Um, I mean, I wouldn't describe it solely as complicated or easy. No, I just think marriage is marriage.
Perhaps our age or our gender makes this experience very different for the two of us. I was married in life as well, It was very easy. But I was young and rich. And I will admit my kindred loves have not gone so well.
Why is that?
Oh, if I only knew,
Hmm.
then I could fix it. But I think perhaps asking someone to be with you for the rest of time is intimidating. Perhaps I didn't explain this world very well. I don't know. I think I've made a lot of mistakes. But I also know my people are not known for their easygoing personalities. Perhaps if I were to find Nosferatu.
So you want to be married?
I desire companionship, as I think we all do. And things are not going well with my current companion. We've taken some space from each other. He remains in Paris, and I remain an ocean away.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Perhaps some time will do us good.
Perhaps.
In the meantime, do you have any available friends? Children, perhaps?
No.
Well, if you find any.
I'll let you know.
Tell me, Agnes, why did you come here? Not that I'm not delighted. I'm just curious.
I was curious. It's not very often that I meet someone from another clan, and even less often that they react in such a way, especially with an invitation.
Well, I'm glad you took me up on it.
So am I.
What do you do for fun? What can I do to impress you? Art, perhaps? Books? Music? Prostitutes?
No. Books, music, if you really anything, whatever you would like.
Perhaps we exchange, or I exchange some books, give you some recommendations.
I have some books that I could recommend as well.
I would love that.
Would you, at some point, would you want to meet my husband?
I would love to meet your husband. Do you want to bring him here? I am the only one in this house. Well, most of the time. I'm the only one living in this house.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I'll ask him if he would like that.
I would love that.
Would you want to meet my husband? I would love to meet your husband. Do you want to bring him here? I am the only one living in this house. Well, most of the time. I'm the only one living in this house. Okay, good. Yeah, I'll ask him if he would like that.
And is he also a Barclay?
Yes, he is. Roman.
Hmm. French as well, I hope.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I will. How about this, Agnes? I will think of my book selection for you, and you think of yours for me, and you come by whenever your husband wants to meet, and we spend an evening together.
I would like that. Thank you.
Thank you.
She gets up and will goodbye.
Let me walk you to the door. He gets up and walks with you, and like opens the door, but like holds it closed, or like doesn't open it all the way. Until next time. And he like reaches for your hand to like kiss your hand.
She'll let him.
And then if you want to put on your cloak, I'm happy to open the door and close it for you.
Yeah, she does that. Just that.
He opens the door, gives you adequate time to leave, and then kind of waving to the empty street, closes the door. And Agnes returns to her husband in her cave.
Yep. Yep, she goes home.